up, beautiful people? So thank y'all from the bottom of our hearts for getting us past the $500 mark. We have raised it to $2,000 in the fight against glioblastoma. That's my beautiful sister Debbie, who is bravely fighting this incurable brain cancer. But we are heading for a cure. Every dollar raised goes to Head for a Cure. Come and join us September 8th at Belle Isle. And if you can't make it, you can still donate. Link in bio. Yep. So the link is everywhere. Lauren, you back up, sis. The link is everywhere. If you cannot make it, then you can absolutely, certainly still donate. It is in my bio on Instagram and on Facebook. The organization is called Head for the Cure, and you can go to Head for the Cure and you can donate as well. So we're really proud. We got to, initially we set it for $500. We got there really quickly. Thank God. And we are just a few $100s away from $2,000. Every single dollar goes to Head for the Cure so they can hopefully find a cure for brain cancer someday. I know that a lot of our youth out here in these streets think that the aunties are engaging in respectability politics and we're out here being extra critical and we just don't understand and we just don't get it. And we just old, as my daughter always says about me. But no, that's not it. We know that we've made mistakes and looked back in hindsight and realized that a lot of that don't age well. And being in this industry for as long as I've been in this industry, what I've seen is the evolution or the de-evolution, right, of class and talent and artist development. I encourage all of our young, beautiful, talented, awesome media personalities, social media, music, film, television. I encourage you, when you do something out here in these public streets, think about how your future husband, if you don't have one now, will look at that. Think about how your future children, if you don't have that now, will look at that. Think about how your ancestors, your grandmothers, your great-grandmothers, your great-grandfathers, all of our heroes and sheroes who fought for us to be able to vote, for us to be able to attend schools without segregation. All those people who fought all those years to improve our lives. Think about the sacrifices they made. And if you can't think that far back, because baby, the way they taking critical race theory out of schools and out the history books and so on and so forth, you can't find a lot about our wonderful, rich, amazing culture and history without having to dig real deep. And folks' attention spans these days are super short, which is why I want to make this live 2 hours. Think about the future. Just envision a future where you and your future husband and your child and your grandchildren even are scrolling through social media or through the internet. And those images of you dropping it low and spreading it wide, those images of you fighting someone, flipping over a table, throwing some shit, you know, those images of you cussing somebody out, talking about somebody's kids, just being utterly disrespectful. Those images are there forever in perpetuity, which means long after you're gone, we're gone. These things will still be here. And I'm kind of preaching to the choir in a way, because there's some things that I look back on and I'll be like, damn, I wish I hadn't done that. I wish I could take it back. But that's what aunties and moms and grandmothers and elders and those of us who have been there and done that, that's why we're here. We're here to remind you that we too made those mistakes. We too made some choices that were kind of questionable, and we don't want you to do the same thing. There's an old saying that says, if I knew then what I know now.
Oof, child.
What you say, Lauren? Have you heard that one before?
Ooh, child.
I left a part of that out. If I was your age and knew what I know now, right? And don't get me wrong. We all live and we all learn and we all have to make our own set of mistakes. And mistakes are huge teachers, right? You have to have the experience. But if somebody telling you that there is a brick wall and you are going to go crashing smack dab in the middle of it, and they have nothing to gain from warning you from self-destruction, pay attention. Listen to the elders. We mean well, even if we say it with a little sauce. Tiana says exactly. Oh, Tyree's joining the call. Hold on, you guys. Hold on. Don't wait. Don't hold on. Hi, friend. Can you move a little to your left, maybe? Nope, the other way. There we go. Y'all, there's my beautiful friend. Okay, good. So, guys, yesterday when we were on live, you were able to hear from my best friend, Tyree. She is a TV producer. She is absolutely an incredible human being. She is one of the dopest moms on the face of the earth. I have three beautiful nieces who are all college. One is college bound. One is a college graduate. One is on her way out of college. They are soccer phenomenons. I believe wholeheartedly that they will end up in the Olympics someday if they choose to be. But I always look to Tyree for advice and counsel because she's just somebody who is always practical thinking. She is someone who's been an athlete her whole life. She is someone who has a genius way of processing adversity and challenges because of that athletic mindset. And she's also been a TV producer for 569,000 years. So she has seen.
You silly.
So
I'm not
she has
that
seen.
old.
I love your streak. Oh my God. Y'all, she lives out of state. I love your gray, your silver, your
Yes,
platinum.
I'm living in my truth these days.
I love it,
And
friend.
that's a whole conversation I think we need to have with people too one day. It's just, we don't have to keep dyeing our hair. Why are we trying to look different? It's actually beautiful. Anyway, yeah.
You're
It's
100%
taken me a
right.
while to embrace it, though. I'm not going to lie.
Yep. But
Yeah.
hey, here we are. And it's like you keep running against the clock because it's going to come back. Just like me in this
coming.
case. I'm going to come back.
We keep
I'm
coming.
coming back.
Running.
No.
Running.
Right, exactly. So Tyree, okay, so I was late. You're a little late, but we know that our little system works where we can. My headphones are acting real crazy. We know our little system works where we can bring each other up, and now they can see you, and we don't have to be doing the whole Instagram telephone thing. We talked about Lizzo. We talked about Jules LeBron and the fact that Jules LeBron is getting it's handled. We don't know if they're getting the trademark back. And then we talked about Breonna Taylor. Something came up, Lauren. And we talked about, on a larger scale. Here we go with this damn thing. It's just staticky. Technical difficulties. I need you to stop right now. I'm hearing nothing, but hold on, y'all. Uh-oh. Can y'all hear me? Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, you can. So we talked about the importance of just being your authentic self and not judgy. And what else, Lauren? We touched on Donald Trump's goofy comments about the Divine Nine. Is there anything you feel like you want to add to this conversation before we jump off of here? I'm trying not to do another 2-hour live. We'll go for an hour and 30. Anything you've seen in the news that you feel is worthy of chatting with our chat? Or does anybody in the chat have anything to say?
What do people have to say? Or what
What
they
do the
wanna know?
people have to say? Let's look at the chat. We've been getting a lot of really good commentary from the folks in the chat. Oh, I didn't go to Twitter or X. I'm sorry, X. Let me go to Twitter real quick, y'all, and see if the folks on Twitter have been asking us any questions.
Yeah, ask if they got some questions.
If you guys have any questions, this is a great time for Q&A. Tyree has worked with the best of them. She's been a producer on X Factor. She's been a producer on American Idol. Matter of fact, Tyree introduced me to Simon Cowell because she's the one who made me aware that Mr. Simon Cowell said, If You Love Me is one of his all-time favorite songs. So I had an opportunity to meet him because my friend invited me up to her set, and we were able to, I think I'm live on X. Did X boot me
That's so
off?
dope.
Any questions from Facebook? Any questions from YouTube? Any questions from anywhere? Or are y'all just like, okay, we're done? Truth don't need to be shade. Keep speaking. Exactly. Congratulations. Nicci, put your Cash App up. You know what? Let me do that one more time because we are funded by your donations. What is it called? Viewer funded. Viewer and listener funded. Hold on. Let me put this Cash App up. If you guys would like to contribute to the work that we're doing here, please scan that QR code and please give to Worth, $fight for Worth. We are building a media company for us, by us, where we can give you guys content that not only entertains, but also uplifts, inspires, and leaves you feeling like you got something from it. So Monday through Friday, 7 p.m., Sunday nights, you will see us on WIRFTV.com. She Speaks Live is our panel, and we're talking the DNC. We are talking love and politics and mental wellness in politics and how you're able to manage that. Because, baby, it's hard out here in these political streets when you have a difference of opinion from the person that you love. Trust me, we know all about that. Tyree, is that something that you know anything about?
What?
Having a difference of opinion in politics in your relationship?
Ooh. Okay. Since you asked me, let me give you guys a little insight in my life. So I am mixed. I'm half white, Scottish, and Scandinavian, my mother, and my biological father, who was African American and I think maybe a little American Indian, whatever the case. I grew up with my mother and my stepfather, who are both very, 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 very white people. They're probably the whitest people you've ever met. But as a child, I grew up in all Republican neighborhoods, states. I grew up in Colorado. I grew up so as a life-changing moment, I found out when Trump was going for his first term that my parents vote for Trump. And I actually didn't know what to do about that. So the hard conversation with my mother was actually life altering for me. And I remember I was calling you, Nicci, because I actually just didn't know how to circumvent this situation, because I grew up in a household where we didn't speak about politics and we didn't speak about religion, but I spent 5 days a week in church. And you never tell people who you vote for. We just never spoke about it. In fact, I didn't even actually realize that my family was Republican until I was confronted with Democrats when I graduated from college, and it became a thing around, the people that I learned to when I was meeting people. And that was right around when I met you with your loud mouth. You was always telling me, Tyree, no, you can't say things like that. No, you can't do stuff like that because I just didn't know. And so now I'm confronted with, do I start a war in my household, or do I just let bygones be bygones? And it's very interesting because I just remember the day my mom called me and said, so who are you going to vote for? And it was either Trump or Biden. And I paused because I was like, one, she'd never asked me that before. It was just something we never talked about. And two, it was just such underhanded question. And I just thought for sure all of us were going to vote for Biden. But my mom was like, why would you vote for Biden? He's racist. And I was like, but Mom, Trump is the one who's racist. And you do realize if Trump gets elected and he draws a line in the sand, me and your grandchildren will be on one side and you and Dad will be on the other side. And my mom's response to that was, Oh, honey, I'm so sorry you feel that way.
Wow.
I'm so sorry you feel that way. And I don't know. What do you say to that? At that point, I had to just say, well, Mom, I guess we're just going to have to agree to disagree. And I'm going to get off the phone right now. And I will call you a little later. Okay, love you. Bye. And I hung up, and I've never brought it up with them again since. And now everybody around me wants to know, are my parents going to vote for Trump again? Or have they learned from the insurrection and all of his ridiculous comments and everything that he's shown us in past? But I'm scared to ask because I think that I will be hurt by the response. What do you say? What do you have to say to me about that?
I'm gonna bring Lauren back in.
Lauren?
I'm going to pass on this because I love your mom, because I love her daughter, and I feel like it would be out of place for me to have an opinion on that. But Lauren, you don't know her mom. Keep it respectful, of course. Of course you will. What are your
Well,
thoughts?
yes, obviously.
I just think it's kind of sad that, like, not to acknowledge the impact that that has on her daughter and grandchildren, that this one person who has all this power sitting in this particular office, and all of the things that he did before and all of the things that he will continue to do, and how that, impacts the livelihood of people. It's My face was like, wow, like that's just, it's kind of sad that, you know, because your parents are your parents are your first protectors.
Yeah.
So it's just like, wow, like, wow, just
Yeah, I get it. And
it's
I
a
can
lot.
speak from the perspective of, and it's interesting because we addressed this on She Speaks Live, which will air on Sunday, shameless plug, at 9:30 p.m. on WIRFTV.com. We talk about how it affects your relationships, right? And I don't want to get too
Yeah.
deep because then I feel like I'm going to be digging into this conversation that we have, and I really want to save it for that. But Trump, MAGA, that whole energy has already done enough damage in this country. The last thing we need to allow that energy to do is destroy or negatively impact families and relationships that have been fine for years without his ass.
100%.
I have no
Agree.
question and no doubt because I've seen it. I know you. Your mom loves you and her grandbabies, and her political perspective will never change that. I just don't ever believe that. I don't believe that there's anything that Donald Trump or any Republican can do to change the relationship in terms of the love, the genuine love that your mom has for you and for the girls. I
Yeah.
think she just, like a lot of people, no shade, have been drinking the MAGA Kool-Aid. And I think that there are reasons that they see, that they feel validated, because it ain't just your mom who is a white woman, but it's also a lot of black men. And it's also a lot of black
Yeah.
people who think they about to get another $1,200. You know what I mean? People are voting
But
for
is it
all
worth
the
the
wrong reasons.
1200? Like, yeah, it's just the oh, and this was what they were bringing up in the DNC a lot. It's not just the what it does for you. It's the overarching consequences that we will all suffer under this regime, because I feel like that's kind of what it would be, you know? Um, and I also feel like my parents, God bless them, I love them dearly. My father's military, he's a lieutenant colonel in the Air Force, and we lived on Air Force bases and just I had a good life. I can't really complain. But I feel like my parents in particular don't believe, like they're shocked every time they see something that's considered racism. Like they really are shocked, and I don't understand why. And it was most of my childhood, they never understood that someone could treat me differently because of how I looked. It had to have been due to something that I was doing or not abiding by or whatever. So I feel like there is that bit of, when we listen to Trump people, how they kind of just have blinders on, sort of, if you guys understand what I'm trying to say. So my heart says that they won't vote for him again, but I also am too afraid to ask. So I don't know.
I mean, that's tough. EXO says it's a tough pill to swallow. How do we reconcile relationships with our loved ones voting for candidates who are in favor of policies that will harm us? Ooh, wee. And then Pam, hi, Pamela. Pamela says that's sad. The preference is based on different types of backgrounds. Things change as you look at it as a whole. I don't think you should be afraid to ask them because of their response. I don't think you should give him that power. I think you should ask your mom what you want to ask her. Maybe she doesn't realize the impact of it on you and the girls and Virgil. She can't
They just
possibly.
don't.
And I think that part of
And
that
I'm more
whole
afraid
MAGA.
of how I will react. I feel like she'll tell me honestly, and it'll be just a matter of fact. I'm afraid of how I will feel when I hear the response, if that makes any sense. And this is a much bigger topic, but since you asked, I thought I'd just throw it out there and see how people feel. But it's like, this is where our nation has come now, that he's trying to put so much division that it's actually, our nation is mixed. Like, I go to my kids' school and it's hard to find people of pure race. They're all the kids are all kinds of different colors and nationalities and versions of themselves, and within themselves, how they want to express who they are in the world. And so this is where we are with this whole thing, and we all need to really be super aware about it, and help our neighbors and help our friends and talk about it more, not irrationally, but rationally.
I agree with you. And I think that this conversation is one that we have to continue. Something you said that really stood out for me and resonated with me. And here we go with a 2-hour live. I promise 2 minutes and then we're out of this because we'll be back tomorrow night. This panel is good. If y'all love this panel, I have it. Cash App us. $ Fight for Worth. I'm supposed to do that. I'm also supposed to tell you guys to like, to share, and to subscribe to this YouTube channel. We're building it every day. You said this country is, most of it is biracial. It is the fastest growing racial ethnic group in the country is biracial. And that's the reason why I'm so geeked up about the fact that we have a soon to be president, Madam President of the United States of America, who is going to represent this great American melting pot, who's going to represent that all of us deserve the opportunity to have a voice and to be heard. And our children deserve the opportunity to believe that they're beautiful and they're worthy and all those other fantastic things. I'm going to get into some of these comments and then I'm going to ease on down, ease on off this live. But a lot of radio shows are like 2 and 3 hours long, but we're going to try to keep it together because we got some really great feedback. So Tiana says, I'm praying for change in your relationship with your parents. When Mr. McCain passed, the Republicans went to HELL. Honestly, I agree 100%. And Exo says, if Tyree, yes, you're spelling it correctly. Mom says that she's still voting for Trump. How does Tyree think that she will handle it? That's a great question.
That is a good question. But to be fair, I love my parents. We have an amazing relationship. We talk all the time. We go on trips. I don't want people to feel like, oh, our family is struggling. It's not. This is something internal that I have been holding inside. Because I feel like once I ask, and if her answer is, of course we're voting for Trump, why aren't you? That's where I'm like, I don't even think I want to get into it because, again, this is for another time. But yes, very powerful question.
Very, very powerful question. Thank you for asking that question, XO. Thank you for all of your questions. At the end of the day, I just feel the way I feel. I don't think that we should give him the glory. I don't think that we should allow anybody's relationship to be divided or changed or questioned after years of love and support and guidance. We just got to figure it out, which is why we
Yeah.
have Sunday night. We're going to open this thing up. How do you navigate mental wellness and relationships in a election full of vitriol and hate, and Project 2025 is a real thing? Maybe, Tyree, you should
Yes,
send
ma'am.
that to your mom, the Project 2025, and have her give it a read. And I said
Woo.
earlier that it was because it's a real thing. It's the actual
It
real
is a
thing.
real thing.
I said earlier that as young women, before we go and do some wild shit on the internet, we should think about how our futures, our future husband, our future kids, how we are as future grandparents, how that will impact our lives. And maybe when you give that to your mom, if you shared how this will impact her granddaughter's future and your future and Virgil's future, it'll make it more real for her. So, Ty, we got to have we always talk about this stuff. I'm surprised that she brought it up. I'm glad that she did because I feel like this can help people. She's not
Yeah.
really on social media like that. She's a super professional woman, and I really am
Same.
grateful because she's always there for me. Lauren is always there for me, and these are two people that I'm so glad were here for me tonight. So, I thank you, ladies, from the bottom of my heart. I want to thank each and every one of you who stuck around and hung out with us for yet another dope ass episode of Nights with Nicci. We did not go 2 hours. We went an hour and 37 minutes because my friend came on, and boy, am I glad we did stick around. So you guys make sure you press like, share, and subscribe. Please go to WIRFTV.com, if you will, and subscribe. We got a great show coming up tomorrow night. Tyree and Lauren, will y'all come back and hang out tomorrow if you
Sure.
can, if your schedules permit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. This is fun. I love it, love it, love it. I finally figured out how to put y'all's comments and stuff. Come on, Kato, we about to go. I finally figured out how to put y'all's comments down there. I sincerely appreciate it. Thank you again for hanging out on Nights with Nicci. This is a really awesome platform, and I'm just grateful that I have it. All right, y'all. So good night. Like, share, and subscribe. We got big things popping. Little things stopping.
Okay.
Holla at your girl.
Bye.
Bye, y'all.